Giraffes are the tallest land animal on Earth. Males are larger than females. So adult males are usually going to be somewhere between 17 to 18 feet tall. Females are usually around 14 to 15 feet tall. These guys that we have here are called Maasai giraffe. That's what kind of giraffe that they are. We have 4 females and 1 male. The male that we have is still on the small side because he's only around 3 years old. They generally don't reach their adult size until they're closer to maybe 5 to 6 years old. So he's still got a lot more growing to do. The one that I have right here is one of our sub-adult females. This is Camille. Camille, you'll notice, is pretty easy to tell apart from everybody else because she's physically the lightest coloration giraffe that we've got. So she looks a lot lighter than everybody else. She has a really light face, and her spots don't seem to be as large, so that light kind of undercolor is a lot more evident on her. So a really cool fact about giraffes is that their spot pattern is totally unique to every single individual, just like fingerprints on people. So even though they all look similar because they are the same species of giraffe, they are all individual in terms of their spot pattern. Not only just the giraffes here, but every giraffe ever on Earth. So their spot patterns are totally unique. So one of the ways I like to try and describe it to people is if you just take a look at one part of the body of a giraffe, you can look at all of our giraffes and you'll notice they are different. So, for instance, if you look at their chest pattern, and then you look at the chest pattern of all 5 giraffes, you'll notice pretty quickly that there's a lot of different differences there. So one of the features that they obviously are also known for is that they have that really cool tongue. So giraffe tongues can stick out about 18 inches, about 1.5 feet from their mouth in order to obtain their food. So we're feeding them this browse here today, and you can kind of get a really good feel for how they use that tongue and how they use their lips and how they use their teeth to actually go ahead and get the food. So this is a little bit easier than the kind of food that they would be eating in the wild. In the wild, they eat almost exclusively a kind of tree called the acacia tree. Acacia trees have small, nutritious leaves, kind of like this, but they are covered in thorns. The branches are like roses on steroids. So not only are there a bunch of thorns all over them, they're also needle-like. They're very, very long and kind of sharp and pointed. So for these guys, it's not exactly the easiest meal to get. So the features that they have are designed to get around that. So their long prehensile tongues are really good for doing exactly what she's doing here, gathering up and picking off even individual leaves if she has to. But they are also really good at getting stuff that's just out of reach. They can stick their tongue out, grab it, and their tongues are, like I said, prehensile, which means they're finger-like. So as she's grabbing onto these branches, let's make her work for it a little bit, she can stick her tongue out and pull onto that branch if she's, you gotta work for it a little bit. No? Too hard. Too much work. There, she's gonna stick her tongue out and grab onto the leaves. There's very... He's better. So she's, like I said, demonstrating how these guys pretty much spend most of their day. So they are browsers. They're a type of herbivore that specializes in eating leaves off of trees. These guys will easily spend about